Hump Day. Welcome into Sports with Balls, guys. 3 p.m. on the dot. Here we go. Hope you guys are having a good week. Mine's been all right, man. It's been all right. Fantasy football did not go exactly as I expected. I did win a couple of my leagues, but obviously did not win all of them. It's all right. That's all right, man. Anyways, welcome to Sports with Balls. I'm Jeff Michael, your host, as always. Got a lot to get into today. We're going to unpack a ton, go over some headlines, breaking news, maybe some injuries, stuff like that. And first on the docket will be Major League Baseball. Some teams are clinching spots. The next few days are going to be very, very interesting, especially if you are an MLB fan. We'll get into the NFL games from last week, maybe touch on some coming up, especially tomorrow night's game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants. That'll about do it. But as always, we want to thank a couple of people that make this show possible. Number one, Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Go to christianstailgate.com, find one near you. Incredible food, incredible atmosphere, Monday night football, Thursday night football. You name it, man. The place is absolutely phenomenal. Sundays, they have mimosa specials. They've got goat yoga at some of these places. They've got a Bill's Mafia bar. Just get to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. Also, Butler CCS INC, baby. Listen, fire, water, mold, roofing, you name it. Wesley Butler is the man, the myth, the legend to go see. Check him out. Go to Butler CCS on any of your social media outlets, man. Get him to take care of your home. It is your biggest investment. Go check him out. All right, as always, we start the show off with national holidays. And what do we have today? National Daughters Day. Woo, I haven't even looked at these yet, so I'm going through them with you. National Daughters Day, I'll have to give mine a call when she gets out of school. Let's see. National Lobster Day. Did not know that, or I would have had a different lunch. Binge Day. That could mean a whole lot of stuff for a whole lot of people. On this one, it says ready to lazy, relaxing day. Grab some popcorn and snacks before we begin. Maybe get some binging going on tonight. What else we got? Math Storytelling Day. No clue. National Cooking Day. Oh, here's a big one. Watch out. National Comic Book Day. If those of y'all that pay attention to this show, look behind me. Y'all know I love comics. Comics and cards, I'm in. I got to find out. It's National Comic Book Day. I need to call my local comic book shop. National Cooking Day. National Food Service Workers Day. Quesadilla Day. Woo. Man, I should have looked this before I ate lunch. National Psychotherapy Day. Ooh. National One Hit Wonder. What does that remind me of? Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, y'all know what that is. National Roadkill Day. Women's Health and Fitness Day. Yoga Fit Day. Research Administrators Day. Damn, there is a ton. World Pharmacist Day and World Dream Day. Christopher Reeve's birthday. How ironic that Christopher Reeve's birthday is on National Comic Day. The original Superman. What else we go? Heather Locklear. Whew. Yes, I say that with emphasis. Mark Hamill, Star Wars. The GOAT of Star Wars, if you will. Mark Hamill's birthday. Will Smith's birthday, and T.I. There you go. There's your holidays and some of your birthdays, man. Welcome to Sports with Balls. Those of y'all tuning in live on the social media outlets, give me a shout, man. Put your questions in the comment box. I'll get to them as I go, if I can. But let's get going. Let's see. Browns, Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson says he's not a running back after there's been a lot of speculation that they have designed runs for him through the Cleveland Browns offense. Listen, the turmoil in Cleveland is just brewing, man. The Browns are going to brown. I can't imagine them not finding a way to get that money back. There's a couple of different ways. By the way, I posted something about this the other day on social media. Go to Sports with Balls on all your social media outlets, man. It's a blast over there. Rob Jones on here saying Browns equal trash. Yeah, unfortunately, man, I got to agree with you. Deshaun Watson was a bad sign, probably to go down as the worst trade in NFL history, depending. There's a lot of things depending on that. We've got another one in Carolina. But Houston Texans are on the good end of both of those, kind of. But I just listen. There's so much stuff going on with Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, and then quietly over the summer they took out or put in a clause that if he gets suspended by the NFL for one more thing, he will be relinquishing his signing, all of his guaranteed money, which is, I believe, $230 million. I can't imagine they won't try to figure that out. Especially the way it doesn't look like there's a lot of camaraderie going on with the Browns right now, and especially Deshaun Watson. I've said this a long time ago when he was in Houston. He's not a leader. He's not a leader at all. His mental capacity has been absolutely tarnished by what happened in Houston with all the sexual allegations and stuff like that. He's not there. And it takes, in order to play in the NFL at that position and that high level, you have got to have your ducks in a row. And Deshaun Watson does not have his ducks in a row. Rob Jones, Texas GM is the Celtics Danny Ainge of the NFL. That's a good comparison. Good comparison. Let's see. Kareem Hunt will play for the Chiefs. He has been signed, and he is practicing with the first team right now, so he looks like he will be in for this week for the U fantasy football players. Now, fantasy football guys, also, I went after Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Hopefully you guys get him. I believe he will start stepping in a ton as of next week. It's either week 4 or 5 he can play, so he'll be in there. Let's see. Ohtani's 50-50 ball will be auctioned off. The guy has turned down offers of $300,000 and $500,000. It's going to go through an auction now. Me, I would have taken the $500,000. The Dodgers offered him $300,000 and some stuff from Ohtani, but I would have taken the $500,000. We all thought, I'm not saying Ohtani's on steroids. I'm not saying that at all. Okay, so don't get me wrong. But there's always things that can happen in baseball, in any sport, no matter what, right? Somebody offers you $500,000 for a piece of memorabilia, you take it. That is, I mean, you don't know how that's going to end up. We all thought McGwire and Sosa were the best thing ever to happen to baseball. Maybe they were. But it just turned out they couldn't get in the Hall of Fame because they were on steroids. But look, I asked this guy the other night. We were out Sunday at a bar watching the football games, and I said, we were talking about the Ohtani 50-50 thing. And I said, man, do you remember what happened at the beginning of the season with him? He's like, what are you talking about? I said, you don't remember, do you? I said, no, and this is an avid sports fan. I said, you don't remember the gambling stuff? And he's like, oh, my God, I forgot about that. I said, yep, winning cures all, right? So you never know. Next year, maybe they find out some information that Ohtani did have something to do with it. Play a bigger part. Now, will the MLB try to hide that? Probably. But somebody offers you $500,000, which if you're smart, investing-wise, that's a life-changing money. You take it. But looks like that ball will be going to auction. Some sad news coming out of Green Bay Packers camp. Some people are sad. Some people don't give a shit, honestly. Brett Favre has been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he admitted it during a court appearance. I guess it was about 2 days ago. He's consulting with 5 different doctors. He's disclosed his condition at the congressional hearing on the welfare reform. Just sad news, man. Listen, there's a lot of these guys that have done wrong things, but nobody deserves Parkinson's disease. It's a terrible thing. And I hope that he gets better. He said that in a 2018 interview, he believes he had suffered more than 1,000 concussions during his 20-season NFL career. If that's the case, wow. Tua Tagovailoa, you need to get out of the NFL. My Lord. 1,000? Man, even 40 would be big, but 1,000? Jeez, Brett Favre. So sad news out of Green Bay. We wish nothing but the best for the Hall of Fame quarterback. All right, let's get into Major League Baseball. There's games going on right now. Some of them matter. Some of them don't. The Seattle Mariners are beating the Houston Astros right now. Obviously, I'm in Houston. If you watch the show, follow the show, you guys know, big Astros fan. They clinched last night. This game doesn't matter. Let's see. Jordan's sitting. Tucker's sitting. Altuve's sitting. I don't even know who's pitching. Some dude named Dubin is pitching right now. So it is obviously they're throwing out the B team on this game. The Mariners, they are not eliminated as of yet. They got a little ways to go. But the Astros, the Houston Astros, did clinch their division last night in an incredible victory. I just, since July, the Houston Astros have been the best team in the American League. The only team that's been better than them has been the Padres, who've just been on an unbelievable run. By the way, the Padres were 50-50 at one point. I think they're 90-46 right now. Or 90, and hold on, I'm going to pull that up right now. They're 91-66. That's unbelievable. They've 41-16 since they were 50-50. That's insane. The New York Yankees clinched. Baltimore Orioles clinched. These are playoff positions, by the way. Cleveland Guardians clinched a division and a spot. Let's see. Houston Astros, division and a spot. The Rangers out. Athletics out. Angels out. The Chicago White Sox, who got booed last night for not losing, still a one game away from the worst season in MLB history. We'll see if they can do that tonight. The Philadelphia Phillies have clinched the division and a playoff spot. Mets and Braves are still in the hunt. The Brewers clinched the division and a playoff spot. And the Padres and Dodgers are still battling it out for the division in a series against each other. This is amazing. The Padres clinched their playoff hopes last night with a triple play ending the game. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. But the Dodgers and Padres are going at it. The Padres are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Guys, listen, if you're going to talk about the hottest teams in the American League and National League, in the American League, it's not even close. The Houston Astros are. They've been the best team since July. They were, I think, 7-19 at one point, and only one team in the history of baseball has reached the playoffs since starting 7-19, and that is the 2024 Houston Astros. And if you switch over to the National League, the San Diego Padres were 50-50 at one time. Going through one of the best stretches we've ever seen in baseball, they are 41-16 since then. 41-16. That's unfreaking believable. Padres are absolutely on fire and could absolutely knock out the Dodgers or anybody in the National League. Anyone. They can hang with anybody right now. The Phillies are 4-6 in their last 10 games. Now, granted, they clinched. They could be relaxing. 93-65, the Phillies and the Dodgers both hold the best record in the National League. In fact, in all of baseball. I don't know who you guys want to go. Well, right now the Astros are locked into the third seed. I know that. The wild card race goes as is. Baltimore Orioles are in. The next three teams all battling out for two spots. Kansas City Royals, as of now, they're in, but they're 3-7 in the last 10 games. Detroit Tigers, they're in right now, 8-2 of the last 10 games. But on the outside looking in, the Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Mariners are 2 and 2.5 games out. Mariners currently beating the Astros, which will put them only 2 games out. So those four teams are all in a battle for 2 spots. Royals, Tigers, Twins, Mariners. We're going to see what happens in the next few days. There's only 4 games left in the season. Absolutely exciting. Switch over to the National League. Padres, they're in. 9-1 the last 10 games. They could still actually win the division, which is absolutely insane. The Mets are plus a half a game up on the Diamondbacks and the Braves for, let's see. So these 3 teams are battling it out for 2 spots. The Mets, the Diamondbacks, and the Braves. Braves winners of 3 in a row. Diamondbacks losers of 3 in a row, or else they would already clinch their spot. Mets 86-71, Diamondbacks 87-71, Mets 87-70. Out of those 3 teams, I guess the Mets. I would like to see the Mets in. I guess it just sounds better. Diamondbacks they've had a great run. So have the Braves. They've done well lately. The Mets. It just sounds good. They put together a scrappy little season, man. They've stayed very quiet. Now it looks like they're on the verge of making the playoffs. And that's wild. The New York Mets. Wow. Mets Yankees World Series. Bit of a stretch, but who knows? Who knows, man? The Mets Yankees World Series. Wow. As far as matchups, I think, look, Orioles and Yankees looks fun. The Guardians are a really, really good baseball team. We'll see how far they can get. But honestly, everybody loves a villain. And there's no two bigger villains in baseball than the Yankees and the Astros. I would love to see that as the ALCS once again. Those two teams go at it. It is a blast to watch them go at it. Not only as an Astro fan, I'm saying this as a baseball fan. The Astros and Yankees series is fun. It's just awesome. So I would love to see that. And in the National League, look, give me Philly, give me the Dodgers, give me the Padres. I even throw in the Mets. Any of those matchups, I'm down. Those are good baseball matchups. And I'm sure that Major League Baseball wants the New York Yankees versus the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 2024 World Series. That has got all the star power you could possibly imagine, man. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. You've got the pitchers there. Oh, yeah. They've got everybody. As far as villains, Houston Astros take the cake, and I'm sure everybody wants to see them lose, which also brings in numbers. So for me, Astros and Yankees ALCS, and if I'm going to pick an NLCS, I'm going to go with the Dodgers Phillies. That'd be fun. I'm down with that. Chicago Cubs actually had a pretty decent season, 81-77. Not great, but decent season. We'll see how they go next year. But as far as teams that are out, Rockies, Giants, Pirates, Reds, Cardinals, Cubs, Marlins, Nationals, Angels, of course, Oakland A's, the Rangers, the White Sox, Blue Jays, all gone and playing for nothing at this point. All right, that's your baseball roundup. There is a few games going on this evening, obviously, that mean a ton. Nothing bigger than Padres at Giants, Dylan Cease versus Flattery tonight at 9:10. Huge, huge game. I don't think anybody's tuning in for the Rangers Athletics game. So there you go. Let's see who else is there. There's a big one. The Angels and White Sox. Are the Angels going to beat the White Sox, and White Sox own the worst record in the history of baseball? That's kind of not worth tuning in, but worth seeing what happens. So, and the Orioles and Yankees. So there you go. 6:05 Orioles and Yankees on ESPN Plus. That's a huge one. That's the division still up for grabs. And then as on the flip side of that, the Padres and the Dodgers with the division still up for grabs. So there's your two games that are really that's awesome baseball. That is awesome baseball. Tune in for those. There you have it. All right, let's go to the NFL. Woo! Man, George Kittle. If you're looking for injury updates, George Kittle is practicing on a limited basis. Let me see what else we got going on injury-wise. There is a ton. Alvin Kamara came up with an injury. Let's see. Jamar Chase is listed with a shoulder injury. Man, dude. The injuries this year, I know it's every year. I get it. It's every single year, but the injuries this year seem to be like huge, huge injuries. I know Alvin Kamara is listed with an injury. There's just a lot, man. How are you guys doing in your fantasy football leagues? Whew. I'm actually doing not so bad. Look, as long as you're in 6th or above, you got a shot, right? That's two of my 5 leagues. I'm doing great. The other 3, nah, I'm in the middle of it. What else we got going on NFL wise? I'm going to take you to the homepage. We already went over the Deshaun Watson stuff. I'm not going to do that again. Broncos linebacker Singleton out for the season with an ACL tear. The Arizona Cardinals defensive lineman, what's his name? Justin Jones. Oh, man. Tricep injury out for the season. Ouch, dude. Arizona is one of my sneaky teams, but, man, injuries. Woo. And the problem with the Arizona Cardinals, too, is Kyler Murray. I hear bad things about the locker room with him. Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers says there's no need to name Fields as his QB1 anymore. It is set in stone. Unless he really screws up, we are not going to see Russell Wilson without an injury or a massive, massive screw up. So, dude, they're 3-0. If you took the over, which I think was 8, you're almost halfway there. That's insane. The Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Mike Tomlin, good job. Jets beat the Patriots last week. Giants over the Browns. Packers routed the Titans, who, let's just face it, they look like crap, dude. Jordan Love may be coming back this week for the Packers. We'll see. We'll see about that. The Colts beat the Bears. Texans got dominated by the 3-0 Minnesota Vikings, where Sam Darnold looks to be like an MVP candidate, which is insane. The Vikings look really good. Eagles 2-1 over the Saints. The Saints, man, after the first 2 weeks with that offensive performance, kind of came back down to earth. Eagles win 15-12. Steelers over the Chargers 20-10, as we mentioned a minute ago. Broncos finally get a W. Bo Nix 25 for 36, 216, 0 touchdowns. 0, folks. That's weird. Panthers behind Andy Dalton's 3 touchdowns and 319 yards. Send the Raiders packing. Wow. Panthers are 1-2 now. Seahawks beat the Dolphins. Ravens over the Cowboys in the game that every person is talking about. What is going on with the Dallas freaking Cowboys? You can say all you want, Cowboy fan. You lose 1 or 2 more games, you're in deep shit. You've got a game tomorrow night with the New York Giants, who I know, I get it. Daniel Jones is their quarterback. They just lost Saquon Barkley. But if you're a football guy, you know that when the Cowboys and the Giants play, these games are close. And unless the Cowboys rout them, I don't want to see the Cowboys win by 3 points. The Cowboys need to rout the Giants. And God forbid the Cowboys lose to the New York Giants on a short week tomorrow night. Man, listen, I'm all for it. I'm in the business of content. Bring it on. I would love for the Cowboys to lose again, just because of content. The Cowboys, they lose again and go to 1-3. It's going to be nasty. They're 0-2 at home, folks. 0-2. Now, this game's on the road, so we'll see what happens. But big game tomorrow night for the Giants and the Cowboys. 49ers and Rams. Rams beat up on the, absolutely decimated San Francisco 49ers. Lions beat the Cardinals 20-13 in a very good win for them. Very, very good win. Goff throws 2 TD passes. Kyler Murray, 21-34, 207, 1 TD. Could have done more. Amon St. Brown finally got on the board, gets a touchdown, 7 receptions, 75 yards. Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, and everybody talking about Travis Kelce. Look, guys, I don't want to hear about Travis Kelce not playing good. The Chiefs are 3-0, and I get it. I get the refs. I understand all the non-calls or calls, whichever way you want to go with it. But they're 3-0, guys. The Chiefs are 3-0. And they're not even playing good. That's dangerous. That's real dangerous. Man, Monday Night Football, the Bills absolutely destroyed the Jaguars. We're hearing rumors of Trevor Lawrence getting benched. I don't know, man. Is it the coach or is it the quarterback at this point? Trevor Lawrence is 0-8 in his last 8 starts as an NFL quarterback. 0-8. And he just got paid $55 million a year. Washington Commanders threw a last 2-minute warning touchdown to beat the Bengals, sending the Bengals to 0-3 and a huge problem in Cincinnati. You're trying to sign Jamar Chase, and you're losing. Joe Burrow, he was great. 29 of 38, 324, and 3 touchdowns. The Commanders, with Jaden Daniels, went ham. He looked amazing. He looked absolutely amazing. And if you had him on your fantasy team for daily fantasy or whatever, you loved it. 21 of 23, 141.7 quarterback rating, QBR of 93, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 254 yards. The guy just absolutely went off. Also 40 yards on the ground. Just an incredible afternoon for Jaden Daniels. All right, let's move forward. Tomorrow night we got the Cowboys and Giants, 7:15 on Prime Video. Dallas -6. That's the score. Or that's the spread right now. They need to prove something, man. But these games, there's a reason it's minus 6 points. These games are tight, real tight. You got the Saints and the Falcons in what should be a good game. They always play each other pretty well. Rams, Bears, terrible football game. Vikings and Packers this week, awesome. Cannot wait for that. Key to that game will be if Jordan Love plays. This is in Green Bay. We wish this was snowing in the middle of December, but it's not. Should still be a fun game. Steelers and the Colts. The Steelers, guys, they had an easy Colts team coming up in Indy, and the Steelers should go to 4-0 very easily. And wow, you're looking at the Steelers being one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. Who would have thought that? Broncos and the Jets. That'll be a fun game to watch. I'm down for that. The Broncos gained a little momentum with their win last week. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers can continue. They could go to 3-1. Eagles and the Bucks, great football game right there. Bucks fell for the first time last week. Eagles may have caught a little bit of momentum. Bengals and Panthers, the non-watch game of the week. Not even. If the Bengals lose to the – look, man, either one of those. Either one, that's a must-win game for both those teams. Like, my Lord. Jaguars at the Houston Texans. I'm not going to say it's a must-win for the Houston Texans, but it should be a very easy win. And if they don't, and fall to 2-2, you're going to start hearing some rumblings. Commanders at the Cardinals should be a fun game. Patriots at the 49ers. This all depends. It's San Francisco minus 10 right now. It all depends on the health of Kittle and the wide receivers. Because right now, I mean, they're off. They've got injuries galore. Browns and Raiders, yuck. Chiefs, Chargers, awesome game. Tune in for that one. That's the late. That's in the late window. And then the Bills and the Ravens on NBC on Sunday Night Football. That will be awesome. All right, real quick, we'll touch base on this because I'm going to do another show either tomorrow or Friday. The NCAA football, college football is starting to really crank up. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. Texas holds the spot at number 1, Georgia number 2. They got a clash coming up. But not before Georgia and Alabama take center stage. It's this weekend. This is unbelievable. In Tuscaloosa, wow. Number 2 versus number 4. You got to love the SEC. 6:30 p.m. Saturday night, Georgia and Alabama, which, man, look, in week 4, we're getting a playoff game. This is fantastic. This is awesome. I just cannot wait for that game Saturday night. If you're a college football fan, that is unbelievable. Let's see. Friday, Virginia Tech takes on Miami in Miami. Miami looks great, guys. They look really good. Ole Miss, Kentucky at Ole Miss. What else we got here? Oklahoma State, Kansas State. That's a decent game. Louisville and Notre Dame. That'll be a fun game to watch. 2:30 on Peacock. Man, what's all this Where's Peacock getting all these games at? I understand they're owned by NBC, but wow. Texas got an easy one. Mississippi State visits Austin. That should be pretty easy for them. But Texas has got a real tough schedule coming up. Speaking of, they've got to play Oklahoma, they've got to play Georgia, and they have to play Texas A&M. But none bigger than the Georgia and Alabama game at 6:30 on ABC. I mean, my goodness. You also have Illinois and Penn State. Huge game. That's about it. But that is an incredible lineup for this weekend in college football. We'll dive into that more either tomorrow and or Friday. All right, let's go. Today in sports history, what we got going on? On this day, September 25th, first baseball doubleheader in 1882. Oh, my gosh. 1924, Malcolm Campbell sets the world auto speed record at 146 miles an hour. I did that in my Mitsubishi Eclipse one day in 1995, so not even lying. I shouldn't admit that. Let's see. Walter Hagen defeats Lou Deagle 5-3 in the final win to win his 3rd consecutive PGA championship title. Jimmy Fox hits his 58th home run in his last game of the season in 1932. Lou Gehrig played his 1,500th game on this day in 1934. What else we got going on? Yankees clinched the AL pennant in 1960. Sonny Liston KOs Floyd Patterson in round 1 at Comiskey Park to win the World Heavyweight Boxing title on this day in 1962. Wow. Also in 1962, the Yankees clinched another AL pennant. Were there like 4 teams in baseball back then? I'm just kidding. 1973, New York Mets beat the Montreal Expos 2-1 on Willie Mays night at Shea Stadium. Ty Cobb stuff. Ricky Henderson in 1985 steals the Yankee record 75th base of the season, which is pretty awesome. Houston Astro Mike Scott no hits the San Francisco Giants in 1986 2-0. That guy was pretty good. What is that? Carl Lewis wins his second gold of the games with a leap of 8.72 meters ahead of Mike Powell and Larry Merricks in 1988. And what's else, man? Wade Boggs gets first to get to 200 hits and 100 walks in 4 consecutive seasons. That was in 1989. The Oakland A's clinched their 3rd straight AL West title in 1990, and probably the golden era of Oakland as far as the A's are concerned, because now they have 2 more games left in their stadium, and it is over. We'll see you later. The Oakland A's are apparently moving, and nobody really knows exactly where. Look into that. That's pretty interesting. They're going to be playing games in a random stadium. Like it's really weird what the A's are doing. Boxing history. What is this? What? Brian Ortega competes for the UFC Featherweight Championship against Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 266. Loses but earns Fight of the Night. So a mixed martial artist, Brian Ortega, was competing for a featherweight champion boxing title. Interesting. And of course, we've got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson going at it, and all sorts of all the fighters are mixing in. But it is what it is. Listen, guys. I want to thank Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill, obviously, for all the support they give us. Go check them out. Go to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. The place is freaking amazing, especially with all the sports going on. Just go get to one. And Butler CCS Incorporated, man. Wesley Butler. If your house was affected by fire, water, mold, anything, you need a new roof, get over to Butler CCS on all social media outlets. Get in touch with him. Give him a shout. He sponsors the show. All of his information is up on Facebook, on Instagram, on all of the social media sites that we use here on Sports with Balls. Podcast version will be up following this. So you guys have a good hump day, and we'll see you tomorrow.